Hey guys, it's Gorizard here, and today we'll be covering not just the Millennium films, but also the legendary films so far, and also Shin Godzilla. Even though it's not a Millennium film, it's now officially part of the Reiwa era. Even though Shin was produced in 2016 and the Reiwa era began this year. I don't know, Toho is weird with listing their eras, but anyways, we're going to be covering a lot of things today, not just the Millennium film, so let's get to it. And we're going to start with the official DVD releases, and we're going to start with Godzilla 2000. And there's a Sony DVD for that one. Megaguirus. This one, I'm assuming, comes with dub titles. Megaguirus is one of my least favorite Godzilla films, so I don't watch it a lot, much less the DVD version, because I already have the Blu-ray version, because if I ever want to see Megaguirus, then I'll just stick to the Blu-ray version. I know for a fact that the DVD version, the Sony DVD of GMK, comes with dub titles, unfortunately. This is my second favorite Godzilla movie of all times, and it's very disappointing that Sony chose to go with dub titles for this gem of a film. I have an extra copy of GMK. Again, the story that I mentioned on the Heisei collection video, I had a friend who gave me a copy of the Space Godzilla Destroyer double feature along with this film as a Christmas present, not knowing that I already owned the Sony DVDs for both of those films. So, again, I already had a copy of the Sony DVD, so there was no need for me to open this. That's why it's still in its wrapping, but I'm still gonna keep it. And this and the Sony DVD double feature for Destroy on Space Godzilla, because who knows, they might be worth something in the future. For some reason, this comes with not dub titles, but different translated subtitles of the Japanese version. So this one's not dub titles. I don't know why Sony decided to go with Japanese translated subtitles for against Mechagodzilla and not do the same for the rest of the Millennium Godzilla films. Tokyo SOS has dub titles as well. I don't watch a lot of my Sony DVDs, or all the DVDs, so half of them are in mint condition, almost. I mean, there's some obvious wear, but the discs aren't scratched. And here's Final Wars. Final Wars was my most anticipated movie of 2004. I even still have that. And I even still have this little sticker that came on the wrapping, and of course my my receipt. I got this at 5:36 p.m. on December 13th, 2005. I think this was the day before Peter Jackson's King Kong hit theaters, so that was something that I remembered very fondly. I was like, oh, it's kind of ironic that I got Godzilla the day before King Kong came out. Like against Mechagodzilla, this one has Japanese translated subtitles, not dub titles. So I'm a little bit grateful that Sony managed to, pull in Japanese translated subtitles instead of dub titles, not just for the Sony DVD, but also for the Sony Blu-ray, which I'll get into in a moment. And I have an extra copy of Final Wars, not because I liked the movie. A friend of mine just didn't want his copy anymore, so he just gave it to me. And I don't know why it's in a Blockbuster case. And I don't even know why it's 2 discs. I don't know if he put it there or Blockbuster put it there. Somebody put it there. I don't know why, but matter of fact, this one is not in mint condition. I don't know if you guys can see, but there are some minor scratches on the disc. No, I don't think you guys can see, but yeah, he did not take care of his copy. My copy, however, is in really good condition, still workable condition. And now we're going to be getting into the official Sony Blu-rays for the Millennium films. So here's Godzilla 2000. It's very strange how they included the Japanese version on this release and not on the DVD, and why they haven't done that before. I don't know why they waited until the Blu-ray release. So it was probably like a licensing issue between Sony and Toho, but I'm pretty grateful that the Japanese version is on this release. But I'm very disappointed that the international English dub is not on this release either. You know, they could have easily added it with the Japanese version. You know, I guess that was another licensing thing between Toho and Sony just didn't want to pay extra for a film where fans could have just seen the Japanese version. And I know I already showed this on the Heisei collection video, but Mega Gears is on it, so yeah. Weird thing is that this is the international version of Mega Gears, but for some reason they replaced the original title cards, the overlay English title cards, with a new one on this release. The subtitles are roughly the same as the Sony DVDs. I think Against Mechagodzilla has dub titles on this one. I can't remember, someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I know for a fact GMK has dub titles on this release again, which is disappointing. I'm practically disappointed with a majority of the Millennium Blu-ray releases from Sony because some of them don't look that good. And again, dub titles is an issue. I'm pretty sure Tokyo SOS has dub titles. Final Wars, it retains the same subtitles from the Sony DVD, so that's a good thing. But some of these so-called HD remasters don't even look that good. Some of them have a softness to them, and they just, you know, look weird. I hate to say it, but some of the Sony DVDs actually look better than the Sony Blu-rays. And now we're going to be getting into the legendary films. So me being one who likes to stick out of the crowd, I decided to get the Target exclusive when 2014 came out on Blu-ray. And the only difference is that it comes with that special feature, Rebirth of an Icon. That's the only difference between the Target exclusive and the regular release. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the artwork they chose for the Target exclusive. You know, I wasn't a fan of this poster. You know, I very much prefer this one. I stole this slipcover simply because this is one of my favorite posters from the marketing of 2014. And as a matter of fact, I have this poster hung in my room. And yeah, I stole this slipcover, and there's nothing in it. There's no disc. It's just a cover. I stole it mainly because, like I said, I wasn't a fan of this artwork. And I was a fan of this artwork, so I decided to steal it and replace the covers. But somewhere along the lines, I just decided, you know what, I'll just stick it with this, you know. And here's the Japanese Toho Blu-ray for 2014. There is absolutely no difference between this release and the American release. It's still just as dark, and the only difference is that it comes with the Japanese dub, Japanese subtitles, and it has the same special features as the American release, except now the Japanese Blu-ray includes the Japanese trailers and TV spots, which is kind of cool, but still, this wasn't worth it, honestly. I heard that the Japanese Blu-ray was brighter than the American Blu-ray, so that's the only reason why I got it. And after I watched it, I was like, I just wasted like 30, 40, 60 bucks on a Blu-ray that I already own. And here I have the 4K release of King of the Monsters. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with 4K Ultra HD releases because they're not Ultra HD. They're just upscales. And the colors on the 4K release, on the 4K Blu-ray, are kind of better than the actual Blu-ray. They feel more like natural colors. But the Blu-ray is still, you know, just as beautiful. The only issues I have with the Blu-ray is that there are some of the saturations, especially on scenes where there's a lot of red, are increased a little bit too much. And here is the Funimation release of Shin Godzilla. I recently saw Shin Godzilla again on my 4K TV, and it looks really good. So I switched between this one and a bootleg of the Toho release. and they both look really good, but I think the Funimation Blu-ray looks way better. Now we're going to be getting into the unofficial Blu-rays of the Millennium and Reiwa films. Before I get started, I made a little fluke on the last video. I lied. I did get a bootleg of Godzilla 84 from VS. I completely forgot. I remember I had 2 copies of this exact same copy before, but I gave one to my nephew hoping that he'd get into Godzilla, and I completely forgot about the extra copy that I was left with. Just like the DVD, it comes with the semi HD remastering of the American version. And here is GMK. This one is kind of darker than the Sony Blu-ray, but I feel like this one kind of has natural colors, and the Sony Blu-ray looks okay. You know, the brightness, you know, it has a thing going for it, but sometimes it gets a little dark visually on the Japanese release. And here is my Blu-ray release for Final Wars. This one did not work on my PS3 or my PS4, so I managed to get a refund for it. And it works on my 4K player, but since I already have the Sony Blu-ray, I don't feel like, you know, there's any need for me to rewatch this one, because I skimmed through certain scenes and it seems like it's the same exact HD remaster as the Sony Blu-ray, so I don't see the need of popping this one in. And here is the VS bootleg of the Toho Japanese release of Shin Godzilla. This one comes with special features, but, you know, like a majority of the releases, they're not subtitled. Only the movie is. Now we're gonna get into the bootleg DVDs of the Millennium films, and here is the VS release of Godzilla 2000. Again, a majority of these are the special features are unsubtitled. Only the movies are subtitled. And this one comes with 3 discs. A few seconds ago. And of course, I got Final Wars, amongst one of my favorite Godzilla films. And that's it. That's my Millennium collection and Legendary collection and small Shin Godzilla collection. Since we already covered all the Godzilla films so far, I think next I'll be covering some of the Gamera films that I own. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope there's more collection videos to come in the coming weeks. Alright, see ya.